Hello everyone, it's me Briars and welcome to my Summer Willow live show placings video. So I actually managed to go to my very first live show in about 12 years, I reckon, last weekend, and I had a fantastic time. I just loved meeting everyone and it was just such a nice atmosphere. But I did promise that I would do a placings video so you could see how my models did. So I reckon I took in total about 100 models to the show, maybe just slightly less than that, which included both my traditionals, minis and some performance models. So I was really busy all day, but I'm so pleased with how my horses did, and let's dive into it. So without any further ado, I've got them all laid out on the bed here for the OF large section. So here we have little Blazing Fire, who's a little paint horse filly, and she got 5th place in the young stock class. Then here we have Smart and Slick, as I've named him. He's just the ideal regular run quarter horse, and he got a 5th place in the quarter horse classer. Then we have here Macbeth, who again, a regular run. He's a Shire horse and got 5th place in the British heavy horse. Then in 5th place we also have my Altonai here, who goes by the name Double Agent, and he got a 5th place in the other purebred horse. I realised I missed the 6th place, so we got one 6th place that was this guy here. So I call him Chatsworth when he's showing, and he is a North American spotted giraffe, so he got a 6th place in the other heavy horse group. Moving on to 4th place, because that's logical, we've got Endeavour here, who is my glossy 7-art surprise, and he came 4th place in the other partbred horse class, as I was trying out showing him as a quarter horse cross paint. Next in 4th we have Astrid, who I show as astronomical and obviously as a fjord, and she got a 4th place in the other purebred horse and pony class. Then here we have Rebellious Spirit, who is the Collector Club special from last year, and she got 4th place in the paint horse class. Oh, and I think I missed another 5th place, actually. I've not laid these out very logically. I tried, but I failed. Here we have Oak and Shield, or Oak, who is the special run from 2020 Briarfest, and he got a 5th place in the other heavy horse class. Again, being very logical, we're moving to 3rd here. And so 3rd place is my lovely Straight Bet Duende, and he got 3rd place in the Iberian class. And if we move across, my Nakota Stormbringer, he got 3rd in the Ferals. Then we have here Tis the Law, who I named Rival Warrior, and he got 3rd place in a very competitive thoroughbred class, so I was really happy just to place in that class. It was super amount of models and some really good standards there. Then moving on to my 2nd and 3rd place models. So 2nd and 3rd place models in this show qualify for something called BMX, which is the British Model Equine Championships. If you're from the US, this is kind of equivalent to an AN card. So basically it means that these models are qualified for going to a championship show, which is brilliant. I do want to try and get out live showing a little bit more and hopefully build up a bit more of like a show string before I attempt BMX, but I would absolutely love to take these guys someday. So 2nd place in the British pony class, we have Brambleform here, who's actually the regular run Sable Island pony, and I show her as a Connemara, and she got a 2nd place. Then moving up here, we have Fireheart, who is one of my favourites in my collection, so I'm pleased that he placed. And he got a 2nd place in the Feral Horses class, showing as a Mustang. Then here we have my Morgan Quest native son, who I show under the name Brave Romance. And he got 2nd place in the other American non-gated, which has basically ended up being a Morgan class. Like, there were so many troubadours in this class. But I was really pleased with him. He managed to BMX, which is brilliant, and it was actually between him and another Morgan Quest as to which one got 2nd and which one got 3rd. So it was nice to see he managed to beat off another one of him. Then moving this way, we get to our 1st places, which is really exciting. So I had no idea that these models would do so well, and a lot of these are surprises to me actually. So first place in the UK pony class goes to Deadly Nightshade, who is my regular run fell pony. Then here we got a first place in the part-bred horse class. That was with Trojan, who I showed as a Frisian cross Appaloosa. I initially wanted to show him as a Frisian sport horse, but doing lots of reading into the breed, it didn't really seem like it fitted him that well. I know that's what quite a lot of people put him down, what Breyer put him down as, but he definitely seemed to do well as a Frisian cross Appaloosa, and I had a good reference for that one. Then here, first place in the Vanner and Cobb section surprised me. So this is Cheesecake from 2020 Breyer Fest, and the reason he surprised me is that I know this mould isn't very anatomically correct. Like, I know the shoulder is a little bit funky, but I took him along anyway because I didn't really have any other moulds that I could show as Vanner as Cobb, and I wanted to show in as many classes as possible. And I really liked him, so I took him along. It wasn't a massive section. I think there were maybe like 3 or 4 models in it, but I'm still like kind of pleased that he came first because I really wasn't expecting it. I was just taking him along for the ride. And then this girl was my actual biggest shock placing. So I call her Queen of Olympus, and she is just a regular run from the, I think it's the Favori Ariel set that I can never pronounce. There was a 2020 Breyer regular run. And she placed first in an absolutely humongous Iberian class. And this was against quite a lot of special runs. I had my Alborozo in the ring, like quite a few different, like very detailed and expensive models. So I was really shocked that this little regular run did so well. But I mean, she is beautiful. She does have really nice flea bites, really nice shading. So I'm so pleased for her. I nearly didn't take her because I was running out of space. And so I was looking at maybe cutting some models, and she was one of the ones I considered. But I'm so glad that I didn't. So super pleased for her. Then first place in the other purebred horse was my, again, regular run Mawari. So he's called Ranvia. And then finally over there, we have my Bellatrix, which again was one of the Breyer web specials, if I can reach her. And she's a really nice dark blue metallic-y colour, which I really like. I like that she's not just like a classic grey unicorn. And the judge obviously quite liked her as well, as she came first in a quite big fantasy class. So that's the overview of my OF large section. So quite a few placings there and quite a lot of shockers. What I really liked about the OF large section was it didn't really seem to matter if you had like expensive models or rare models, just the nicest models placed. And so it goes to show that if you are thinking about live showing and you're thinking, well, I only collect regular runs, so I'm not going to place, like the vast majority of my placings were regular runs, and I did take quite a few like Premier Club models and special runs that didn't place. So it all to do with how well the model fits the breed, I guess. And I couldn't be prouder of these guys. So we've done a horse change and now on to minis, and I decided to do customs because I could just about squeeze them on the bed. So anyway, starting in 6th place for the OF minis, I have Ultraviolet, this little unicorn who got 6th placed. Then we have Pendragon, who got a 6th place in the Paint Horse. And then we got Delilah, who got 6th place in Quarter Horse. We've got Never Enough, who got a 6th place in OF of a Heavy. Then Honour Bound, who came in 5th in the Iberian mini class. All or Nothing, who came 5th in the Warm Blood class, as I show him as an American Warm Blood. Then Kaleidoscope, this lovely little decorator, 5th in the Decorator class. We got a 5th little fanfare here in the Young Stock class. Oops, that's upside down. 5th place for Champagne Toast here, who I actually show as a little Mustang mare. So she'll have been in the Feral class. 4th place for Summer Solstice in the Vanner and Cobb class. 4th place for Little Lyric in the Part-bred Pony and Horse class. 4th for Goldeneye, who is shown as a national show horse in the Part Arab class. And then my little Dutch Warmblood Allegro, who goes by Integrity. He got a 4th place in the Warmblood class. Up here we have some thirds. So Valeur, who is one of the Stablemate Club models from last year, got a 3rd place in the Carriage class. Twist of Fate, again another of Stablemate Club models from last year, 3rd place in the Arab class. Little blind bag Blackberry Jam, the little Croy, she got 3rd place in the UK pony class. And coming across here, we've got Heart Song, who's my mini Fireheart, who got a 3rd place in the Feral class. That was basically a mini Fireheart class. Then we have a 3rd place here for Seeing Spots, who got a 3rd place for the Part Bred Horse and Pony class. We've got Ice Queen, who is a Percheron, so she was in the other heavy class and got 3rd place. Then moving up here, we're into our championship qualifiers again with 2nd and 1st place. So this is Capuche, as I call him. I don't know if that's pronounced right, but it's supposed to be Spanish for Hood, as he is Loxley, the mini Robin Hood model. He got a 2nd place in the Iberians. Got Gossip Girl here, who got a 2nd place for quarter horses. And then across here, we've got my little Missouri Foxtrotter Step on It, who got a 2nd place in the gated. Going round the other side of the bed because I can't reach anymore. We have here a surprise 1st place. So this is the new Prince Charming mould and the 2nd release from the Stablemate Club, Phineas, who I have called Simply Charming. And he is shown as an Anglo-Arab actually, and he got 1st place in the Part Bred Arab class, which I was quite surprised by because I wasn't sure how well this mould would show with it having this like conjoined hoof thing going on here. But he did really well and he came 1st, so that was quite a nice surprise. Another 1st place here, we've got Captain Seamus, the Clydesdale, and that was in the UK heavy horses. We'll come back to him in a minute. We've got 1st place here for Aquamarine, who was the little Deco Croy from Stablemate Club last year in the decorator class. And she's really grown on me quite a lot. I actually really like this model now, which when I unboxed her, I was planning on actually selling her. But she's really grown on me. 1st place here for Blue Moon in the Cobbs and Vanners class. And then finally our last little stablemate, we've got Thumbelina here from the Best of Briarfest set last year, who got a 1st place as a Highland pony in the UK pony class. So that was all the stablemates, and then we've got a few customs here. I only took 3 customs to the show because I genuinely don't own a lot of customs. Like, I don't know why, I just don't have a lot in my collection, which I do need to change because I do really like them. So this guy here is Horatio. He's a Django custom with like a really pretty plaited mane and some really nice detail. Don't know if the camera will pick it all up, but he's got like mapping and everything. He's really, really cute. And he got a 3rd place in the custom Part Bred Horse and Pony class. I showed him as a Frisian Cross Appaloosa as well. Literally used the same reference as I used for Trojan and seemed to do all right. And he also got 6th place in the Workmanship Spotted class, which is great because the workmanship was so competitive. I kind of chucked these guys in, not expecting anything. So for him to place, that was kind of cool. Up here we've got Prince of Wales, who's a cute little pony foal classics custom from Walnut Lane Studios. He's really cute. He's a really nice, soft, like palomino. And he got a 6th place in the young stock class. And I'm going to come all the way around the bed because we need to appreciate this girl in person. And our 2nd place in the custom Part Bred Arab, this is All That Jazz, as I call her. Show her as a little Morab, and she's by Coletto Studios. And I just absolutely adore this girl. Like, I had to take her to the show just because I really wanted to put her in the ring as I love her. Just love her dappling. She is gorgeous. So I was pleased that she placed, and it was nice for her to get a B-Mix card as well. Last but certainly not least, we've got my CTF models, and I was going to chat about my performance entries as well. So we'll start with the CTFs. We have Guildenstern here, the little Weir Norica, and he got a 5th place in the heavy horse CTFs. If you're not familiar with CTF, it's basically like toy horses, so typically your Schleich, WIA or Weir, however you prefer to say it, and some Collecte, so it's that kind of group of models. We've got Take a Bow here, who's little Polino Vincenzo from Weir, and he got a 5th. Oh, I don't know why I threw his card at him, but never mind. Then here we have Stormcloud, who got 4th in the Arabians. We didn't have any 3rd places for CTF, but we got a 2nd for the other Weir Sharif, who I called Bold Moves, I think. I made their show names up very last minute, so if I forget them, forgive me. We got our Lancelot here, who got a 2nd place in the Warm Bloods, and I showed him as American Warm Blood. We got a 2nd place for this little Collecte Lipizzaner in the Iberians. Then up here we got 1st place for this little Icelandic Blue Springs in the other horse class. And then finally for my CTF models we got a 1st place with Rosenkrantz here, the Rhenish German Cold Blood. So my little CTFs I actually took with me very last minute. I just had a bit of extra space, so I was like, let's enter this section as well, which I was quite pleased with considering all but one of the models I took placed. So yeah, that was a nice little section, kept me busy towards the end of the day as it was one of the last sections after all my other models had finished showing. Finally, we're on to my favourite division of the day, which actually was the very first division of the day, and that was performance. So if you know me, you know that I really, really like tacking up my models and taking photos of them, and performance seemed like the next greatest step. And ever since I got this guy who is Ballino Castle, the celebration model from 2020's Briarfest, I have been dying to do an eventing performance scene with him, and I finally did it. I took quite a while making this tack, and I was really pleased with how it all came out. And we actually came first, so I think there were 4 entries in the end, but I was not expecting to come first place for my first ever attempt at performance showing. Absolutely loved this diorama, and what I will do at the end when I finish nattering away to you, and you're probably already bored, is I will post a few short video clips of me setting these performance scenes up at home when I was practicing getting them ready for the show, so that you can see what they looked like as I was a bit of an idiot and actually forgot to record much footage at the show because I was so busy running from performance class to performance class, setting things up. So I'm afraid there's not really much show footage, but I can show you some footage of these guys all set up at home with what I basically showed them as. Then we also decided to show in the Western Pleasure division. Again, this is a model that's very close to my heart. This is Rugged Painted Luck, who's another Briarfest celebration model from 2007, which was the year I went to Briarfest as a magical trip competition that I won. And this guy's been my favourite celebration horse ever since, just because he's sentimental. But I think he's a really nice Western Pleasure horse, and although he wasn't like the greatest quality to live show, I really wanted to include him somehow, so we went and did a Western Pleasure scene, and we got a 1st place, which was really, really good. Again, I'd made all the tack for the scene, and I'd made like a backdrop and everything from scratch, so for me, performance, it's just really rewarding seeing my work that I have spent weeks on do well in the ring, because I was convinced that I wouldn't be good enough to show performance, so it's nice to see my stuff placing. And then finally my last performance entry that I did was a little Western Trail scene with this Premier Club horse Firefly, because I think she looks like a really nice patient Western mare. So we did a little scene where she was just finishing up doing a gate obstacle, and she got a 2nd place. There were only 2 in the class, but the other entry was really amazing, so I was pleased with that. I was just pleased to have her in the ring. So just before I cut to showing you their scenes, if you want to carry on watching, finally I show you my little goodies from the show. So this guy I won in the show raffle. He's a little cute plushy unicorn who I've named Mr. Sparkles because he needs a ridiculous name because he's ridiculous. And he also came with a little stablemate Collecte size pony pouch, which was really cute and was the main reason I put in for him for my raffle, but it was nice to win something. And then finally I have to show you this gorgeous medallion. Let me scoop him up very gently. So this is a noble medallion by Raven Maddock, and he's been painted by Madison Bennett, who is known as Madison Ponywood on Instagram. She was my table buddy for the day, and at the end of the day, the medallion class was going. I saw this guy and fell in love with the amount of detail on him. Just look at how beautiful that greying is on his face and his mane, and I just love the details on the bridle, and I'm obsessed with Andalusian horses and Spanish Iberian horses, so she very kindly sold him to me, and he is my very first medallion. I love him so much, so thank you to Madison for letting me take him home. And I also had the great joy and pleasure of meeting quite a few other collectors whilst I was at this event, but a special shout out to Wonderland Model Horses on Instagram, and I think she also has a YouTube channel as well, but please check her out. She was so lovely. We've chatted for a while, so it was really nice to meet her too, and I got to see her very gorgeous dark Uffington variation. So I just had such a wonderful time at this show. It was a really nice, friendly atmosphere. It was hosted by Amber's Corner Stables on Instagram, who also runs the Willow photo show series, if you're not aware of that. And she was such a great host. It was a really well-run show, brilliant venue. I really hope that she will host again. So anyway, I'm going to finish babbling here, but I will, as I say, include a few clips of my performance setups, all set up and ready for the show at home, so you can see what they look like. Until my next video, which will hopefully be maybe some Briarfest unboxing, I shall see you next time. Bye bye. Okay, so I thought I would show you my performance entries. I'm setting them up at home just to kind of get an idea of what they look like, so that when I go to set them up at the show, I'm not like completely oblivious of what I'm doing. So the first one I've set up here is my Western Trail entry. I decided to use my Firefly model for this because she looks really nice and calm, patient, the sort of horse you'd want to be doing Western Trail with. So this is my setup. And here we have the entry from the other side. So here's my Western Pleasure entry. I've just moved it out of the light box as it really wasn't picking up very well in there. So I'm going to be using Rugged Painted Lark and this Briar doll, just because I cannot justify spending crazy money on a custom doll at the moment, and I just do not have the skills, I feel, to create one at the moment either. I made the little backboard, and my lovely fiance made a little sand base for me. So yeah, this is going to be Rugged Painted Lark going in for Western Pleasure. And here we have my final entry, which is a jumping entry. We're doing a cross-country diorama. So this is it from the first side and sort of from above. Here we have it coming towards us, and I especially love the Land Rover little detail I put in. So this is supposed to be Burley Horse Trials. And then if we come round here, this is it from above. Oh. And then there we have it from its main side. So I'm really happy with this one. It's basically a horse heading towards a log jump, which is on a bounce, and is based off a real life fence from Burley Horse Trials 2015. And I'm using Reggie, the celebration horse from Briarfest 2020 for this one. And all the tack, everything for this diorama has been made by myself, apart from the saddle pad.